So, Nino, tell us why you wanted to be a co-creator of the program Embodiment 26.
So, Lex, you and I have been talking about creating a program together for a little while, and we were just coming out of thinking and talking about just our New Year's goals and resolutions and like how, everyone's in this state of being of wanting to create new things for 2026. Like we're in this hype of new 2026. Things are going to be better. This is my year. And it was making me think we normally say new year, new me. What I really started to say is new year, deeper me. Because for me, trying to put on somebody else's goals was really starting to feel like I just can't do this. The idea of the goal was great. But by the time I got into the mode of like where the rubber meets the road, and I was like, I am so tired. I don't want to do this anymore. I felt like I was a failure at keeping my goals. And I can't imagine how many people, I mean, tons of people probably are that way because we're taking on other people's goals as if they're our own. And for me, embodiment 26, it really speaks to what I've been thinking of like more embodied action, action that comes from me and not action that comes from an external thing. And in order to do that and be the person that I want to be in 2026, it's really about how can I be more of me? How can I be deeper me to include the goals that I make for myself? And those goals, I think, are not even just like the checklist of things that I think I need to complete by the end of 2026 to be like an accomplished person, but who am I? Who did I become? Or who did I unveil myself to be in order to finally tap into that? And that's embodiment 26 for me. And I see
That
you
was
smiling like
delicious. I love that new year, deeper me. That is so the new way. Like that is so where I feel people want to go. Like you hit it on the head. It doesn't have to be a new me. It's just got to be more me.
more me, because we want more of you. We want more of who we are and not more of the masks that we all put up in front of each other, right? Like, hello, world, I've come out. This is me, you
I
know?
love it. Oh, that was one of the most delicious explanations you've ever given me. I loved it. And I think so many people are going to be able to relate to that of I don't want to struggle to be what other people put out as a goal for me. I just want to be happy doing what I want to strive for doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I know, you and I have gone back and forth on this a couple times when we were trying to figure out, like, what do we want to do this year? What is embodiment 26 starting to like really already unfurl and unfold for you? Like how are you, how's this feeling? How is this kind of landing for you as far as like, why did you say yes?
Oh, and it's funny because the more we work on it, the more energized I get about it, and the more it drops into place, the more it feels like things are divinely dropping in as they should, whether that's clarity, information, encouragement, momentum, it's all coming in there. So I go back to our creation moment for this and realizing that our former container, the sanctum, you could feel it coming to an end. You could feel it was a great beginning for us. It was the spark that started us, but it wasn't going where we wanted it to. And so it was that strive there for you and me. It was that yearning of like, how do we create more momentum in our friendship, in our partnership, and in our service together for us and for others, knowing that what we discovered in our creation of the sanctum was that we are so complementary to each other in our styles and our conversation, and that was like the fuel to the fire of like how do we keep this going. And so to me it was a really greatly inspired pivot by your idea, your prompting of like how can we do this in a new way. And then for me what really like solidified my personal why was knowing that this is the type of information or help or support that me 3 years ago was looking for and couldn't find. I was a person who was living in the gap between where people get spiritual knowledge or information but can't live it, can't embody it. And I found myself thrashing around for so long, just struggling in a messy life of like, why isn't life why am I not living the life I'm imagining or picturing or wishing for? And what is the bridge that I need to cross there? And so to me, there just wasn't enough information out there on what that looks like, which is embodiment and integration, and it's learning how to get mind, body, spirit to a new set point in a way that feels good, like feels like you're living the life you wanted. And so for me, it was like, this is the container for Lux 3 years ago. That's the thing she needed to get through or to get to a new place in a way that would have been more supportive than the way I got here. Just embracing the fact that we do our co-creating so energetically and synergistically, and we're just so complementary in that way that it for me it emphasizes that also that embodiment is not necessarily meant to be done alone. You can collect the spiritual information yourself, you can seek, you can go down those rabbit holes, but you're meant to live life as well as test your test your embodiment, test your integration in relation with others. And so I think this container in itself and the fact that it is a dual coaching container is the epitome of showing others how you learn to align with what you want in co-creation with others as a network in partnership, whatever that looks like for our clients. But it's not meant to be done alone, it's meant to be done together.
Love that you put that together because something that I've been really, really craving and wanting to build is community. And I think, when I started my spiritual journey, when I started figuring out who I am and what I want to do in this world, and I also was hit with that question all the time of like, I've accomplished so much, but why am I still not happy? I've accomplished all of these things, and yet I still feel a little empty. But over time, like I've plugged into some really amazing communities, and you're absolutely right when you can collect all of that information. You can have a great spiritual practice as an individual, but there comes a point where we all are called into community, into doing this work together. And and this is the very thing that makes a difference in some of our goals. Some of our goals can only be achieved through the support and backing of community. And this is why we wanted to create this as a community space and not just like, let's do one-on-ones, but let's create a community around this because part of it is co-creation, the other part is co-regulation, and also like we all need to be witnessed, we all need to be supported and helped in those times when we are in that gap between who am I and who am I becoming, who am I and who am I when I have the thing that I desire, because it's an identity that gets unlocked. It is a way of thinking and being that gets unlocked. And I say unlocked because we're not necessarily becoming a new person, but we are like going deeper into the deeper levels of who we truly are. We're unlocking the rooms that we had closed doors on and padlocks on. And sometimes you need somebody else to give you that key to finally form in your hand to be able to unlock that door. And this is what we're doing, right? And embodiment is, I think, is the way.
It's like you took the words right out of my mouth of like, it's not just thoughts and ideas, it's living that life, being her. Who is he or she? Who is she? What does she look like, live like when she has all that she desires? That's a really great way to put it. So here's a fascinating question that would also make a great juicy bit for our potential clients to understand is what service and energy would you like to bring to the container embodiment 26?
That is super juicy.
Give me your energy.
Need some energy. So I think for me, what most people will automatically start to see is there's devotion, depth, and warmth. And the energy that I bring is very much so warm, grounded energy that really has the capacity to hold you the way a mother would. At the same time, has a capacity to be like, as a sister, honey darling, we need to be a little real here. The soft-hearted mama and the tough loving sister that I will never say anything mean to you, but I will be like, hey, snap out of it, girl. let's go. You need a little push, and I'm going to give it to you. In the most loving, sweethearted way that you could probably ever feel from anyone.
That is so you.
Totally, right? And at the end of the day, I subscribe to this concept, and it's something that's more known in like the Catholic circles, but I'm not pushing my religion on anyone. I'm not dogmatic. Like, I'll just put all that there. But I do derive a lot of my context and devotion from more Catholic roots. But we have something that's called spiritual motherhood. And this is the idea that every woman is essentially shepherding the next generation and her sisters as a mother would. This idea that we are all mothers to each other and we take care of each other as a mother would her child. And that's really something that I think I will be bringing into this container. Um, and I think this is why, like, you'll get that sweet, very warm, yet grounded, a little tough loving energy from me. And my goal here is to take you deeper into yourself. Not for me to give you all of the answers, but for me to just show you that you actually already know. And all we're doing is essentially leading you into, the areas of the forest that are already your home. We're not taking you down some mountain path that, like, you need a guide. You don't need a guide, you need a facilitator and a sister. Like, you don't need somebody who's going to yell at you to climb the mountain, but you do need somebody who's going to take you to the river and force you to see or lead you and invite you to see the mud that is caked over your face and say, it's time to wash it off. Like, you've been the wild thing. You can wash it off and show like who you really are now.
Woman, that is profound. I love it. It's so that energy feels so good on you. It feels very Nino. It feels very Nino. That, like you said, that strong but soft loving mama bear that, I got your back. I'm going to be real with you, but I'm going to do it with the biggest heart I can imagine. And it's just so you. And it, like you said, what I heard you say is that a good coach doesn't force you, doesn't yell at you to climb up the mountain and tell you what you need to do to get up a mountain. A good coach prompts you in the right questions and ideas and statements to lead you to the best path, which is your own, not the Lux path, not the Nino path, but to encourage you to find your own because it's already there and it's no one's job to walk it but yours. And so a good coach doesn't make a path for you. They help you find your own.
And I love the way that you distilled that because this already shows like why we co-create so beautifully together, why we are so complementary because I might use that more, flowery language. But Lux, you're
So
like
poetic.
straight. Lux, you're like straight. Like, I'm gonna distill this into, more pragmatic terms. And it highlights why we complement each other so well. Because there's somebody who's gonna really, really need, like, you're too poetic. I need give it to me dirty.
You need someone to grab you by the shoulders and shake you. That's Lex's
Right.
job because you very poetically express your strong suit in this. And not to say that my goal is to be the abrasive, like overly stern side of the coin, but my thoughts in like what service and what kind of energy I want to bring to the container is that th- this is not a guru space. This is not a spiritually superiority space. For me, it's about getting real with yourself and getting to the version of yourself that you love. And so in this process of my own experience and getting to share that and let my being witnessed be a light or an example to others, it's the invitation for us all to really get real with ourselves and ask the hard questions because that is to me the fastest and truest way to get to the version of you and the life that you're loving. And now that I'm seeing me do it, it feels incredible and I want to share it with people and I want to help people find that it is within themselves to do it. You don't need to do it my way, but you know, I do want to express that there is a way. And so to me, just that's what the sharing the coaching is like, I'll be the person that will ask you the hard questions because whether someone did it to me kindly or not, it was what I needed to get where I am. And so sometimes a little bit of that pragmatic, practical, shoot it to me straight kind of answer or question or prompting is what people need to like you said, look in the river and go, wow, there's a lot of mud on my face and maybe I want to do something about that. Your softness balances my directness, and my directness gives another verbiage to your poetic beauty.
Thank you. And I do love this because embodiment isn't just about how you feel about your goals. It's not just the sensation around your goal that's in your body, but it's also the action that you take, right? And so we want to make sure that everybody understands we're not here to make you feel all good and chummy with your goals all the time because they're challenging. You're not there because they're challenging and they require from you something that you haven't done yet or you aren't willing to do yet. And that's where the action piece comes in. That's where the pragmatism and the practicality comes in. You will never get to your goals without some form of action. And so you are going to be met with the challenge. You are going to be met with a little bit of invitation to push you along because we can wax poetic all day long, but if you're not taking any action, what good is it doing anyone? Right? And this is where, again, Lux isn't here to be the drill sergeant, the football coach that's like, drop and give me 20. We're not doing that here. But we are going to invite you to take action based off of how can we regulate you and your nervous system and how can we help you with the embodiment in a way that makes action less effort and more sustainable for you so that way you can achieve without burning out.
I think a really great cherry on top of what you just said as well is that action is absolutely necessary. Getting embodied with the alignment and the energy and the emotions of who that new set point person is part of it. I think what's going to be the most beautiful thing about this container is that the two of us so clearly understand that it's a balance of a little bit of grit, a little bit of action and discipline, with the understanding that it's not supposed to be an uphill battle pushing a boulder the whole way. Like a great coach in this container, this set of coaches is here to show someone how it gets to be easy. It doesn't have to be a trudging, sludging uphill battle, but it is going to be a little bit different you. It's going to be a new version of you. And so that will require just enough work, not hustle grind culture work, but just enough to get to your new set point without unnecessary tension and testing and extra stress and work that doesn't need to be there, excess.
Exactly. It's the difference between moving the needle every day a little bit at a time versus trying to push that boulder all the way up the hill the first day that you arrive. Like you haven't built the muscle yet, you haven't built the stamina yet. You're not the person who can move that boulder up the hill in one shot yet. But you are the kind of person right now who can move the needle a little bit forward every day, just a little bit more. And one day you're going to move it a little bit farther. It might be double or triple the amount that you moved it yesterday. And eventually you'll notice that that needle is actually the boulder, or the boulder was always a needle, but it looked like a boulder because you didn't have the strength or stamina or the identity to be able to push that yet. But we could all move the
Exactly.
needle.
That's a great way to visualize it too. Literally visualize yourself making progress in that step by step form, knowing that it may be a little uncomfortable some of the way or most of the way, but a little bit of discomfort and stretching is a whole lot more tolerable and beneficial than trying to shove the boulder uphill in one day and then breaking yourself over it.
Exactly, exactly. Was there anything else that you want to leave our listeners with, our watchers?
I would say that I am just over the moon excited about the fact that we are so ready to provide a coaching experience where Embodiment 26 is where we show people how to practice what they no longer want to just talk about. They're ready to walk the walk and they're ready to let it be fun and just the right amount of effort and stretching in a way that feels like real growth, real enjoyable, accomplishing, phenomenal feeling growth. And I know that we are so prepared to bring the value to this container.
Yeah, absolutely. And I cannot wait to see, one, I fully expect for both of us to grow in this container alongside all of our participants, but I can't wait to see the people who come in, who get to feel both of our energies and the wonderful goals that you guys have. And I know that we're going to move that needle, that boulder is going to become like a little stone by the time we're done. We have 6 weeks together to really move into embodiment of those goals. So I would say like we're excited to have you. We are ecstatic to be able to support you through this process and know that, again, we are facilitators and not just coaches. We're not going to pretend to be above you. We are doing this alongside you. We're walking shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart. And this is really what it means for us to be an embodiment of who we are and holding the vision for your embodiment. We fully trust that you are capable of achieving your goals with a little bit of help and a lot of embodiment, kind of really anchor you into them.
We fully trust in your ability to do that with us. Oh, speaking of, we're doing it alongside of you. I have one more juicy question. Have you chosen a particular goal that you're going to let this vehicle carry you through, like a particular New Year's resolution that you would like this container to transform for you?
I've been thinking so much on a goal, and you know, as easy of a cop out as it is to say, like, I want to be a better coach. I think for me, it's more of embodying the fact that I can be a facilitator for many people and not just I think I could do it, but I'm actually stepping out and doing it. I'm actually putting the effort to not just have a little thing here and a little thing there, but I'm putting my face to the camera in a way that I haven't before. And I know that for me, it's been like, who is this person who has a social media account? This is stuff I did not like before. But as I step into the medicine that we are all called to walk in every day, I'm like, if I want to build community, I need to get started. And so for me, it's being the facilitator, the sister in the circle, and also building community. So that's really what I am building towards with this container, to be held accountable, to build that community, but to also know that we're already building it and it gets to expand from there. But to see myself actually taking the actions while regulating and be like, okay, I got this.
I feel like my goal pales in comparison to yours. That was lovely, just straight up lovely. What a great way to focus on like showing up, like letting this container encourage you and solidify you in showing up for yourself and your others and your mission and your service. Mine is a little practical, straightforward. I wouldn't call it simple, but essentially what I'm doing with this goal is letting myself embody the fact that self-care is a daily practice. And so for me, it comes down to a little bit of that practical time management aspect, but also reminding and solidifying in myself that I am worthy of self-care and self-love every single day without exception. But that comes with the caveat of being intuitive and listening to what that self-care is. So my plan was to focus on choosing and committing to either or 10 minutes of meditation a day or 10 minutes of exercise a day, whether that's, a 10-minute yoga video or a really fast walk around the block. But to be able to intuitively choose, do I need rest or do I need motion? Allows me to listen better and to let myself become more attuned to what it is I need in that now moment or in that day, as well as the consistency of this is what self-care is on the daily. It's literally making a set of 10 minutes for either rest or motion, whatever's going to serve me best in that day, because it's a must for me, because it's the ultimate like self-care and ritualistic act of taking care of myself that I could and should do. I don't say should a lot. I don't like to say you should, but I could do every day in order to embody who is she, that she takes such great care of herself, that she comes with such presence, that she is so finely attuned to who she is, her higher guidance, all of the things. And that requires some time and space to develop. And if I don't make the time and space to develop it, I'm not showing up as her. So throughout the container, I'm going to let you all help hold me accountable to, did I give myself the 10 minutes? It 10 minutes, like I'm a busy kind of go get 'em girl. Like I'm always trying to cram 10 pounds of stuff in a 5 pound bag. So if I can't give myself 10 minutes of self care and self love and self respect a day, what am I doing? And so for me, that is the ultimate Luxy pragmatic, like practical of practical goals of, can you make 10 minutes happen for you every day, with the poetic embodiment undertone of, because that's who she is.
I absolutely love this goal because self-love and self-care are so crucial for me. So I can't wait to support you in this.
I'm
And
counting on you to pester me every day about it.
you're like,
Thank you. And that's another thing about this group container being, it's a small group, it's an intimate group, but the accountability piece of, well, you say you want to lose the weight, or you say you want to be a better communicator, or you say you want to be a spiritual business entrepreneur. We're here to help you with that little bit of accountability push in a loving, coaching, and um, empowering way.
I think being clear about your goal is important. Being clear about your why is helpful, but sometimes until you start doing the thing and peeling the layer of like, okay, now why am I resisting the goal that I set for myself starts to give you um more fuel. It could either be fuel that blows the whole thing to smithereens, or it could be the fuel that actually starts the fire of passion that actually helps you to make headway in it. And, I want to make sure everybody knows like your goal doesn't have to be this really big to do thing. It can be simple. It can be, I need to walk for 5 minutes. I'm learning to build my intuition. I'm learning self care is important. I'm starting a business, whatever it is, big or small. To someone, that small thing is actually a little bit bigger because they have something within them that's been resisting it and they know that they need a little bit of help to figure out why. Why is this so hard for me? Why am I finding this so challenging? And to have a community like ours and to go through coaching with two women who have experienced where embodiment has gotten them, to have the two different perspectives. My deeper, devotional, very introspective, like softer mama style, and Lux's pragmatic and practical and go-getter, like actionable type. Between the two of us, you're going to see things at different angles that you haven't seen before. And sometimes that's all that is necessary to have that new perception and perspective, because you need kind of both in order to start embodying and living out um, where you're going. And between the two of us and the community, you're always going to have some kind of support of, here's what I'm seeing. This is what you're saying. This is what I'm seeing. Here's my response to that, my perspective on that. How is that changing your perception of why you're resisting it? And it'll be, we deeply believe we will have given you the information to have something land. And when you get landed and grounded and, like I said, anchored into the real why of resistance, you can finally start kicking that why of resistance to the curb and say, you know what, I don't actually need you. This is my goal and this is where I'm going. And this is already who I am. I'm just taking off all of the resistance because now I'm embodied in it.
Well, I think these are some amazing, important questions that our potential clients are going to want to know about us and about what to expect from our container. And I cannot wait to deliver the exciting news to them. Yeah, delicious.